Hey guys, welcome back to my vlog channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited about today's video because I thought it would be fun to share some more personal things with you guys on this channel. My cleaning channel is very much about cleaning and inspiration and makeover videos and home renovations and that type of stuff. But there's not a whole bunch of like personal motherhood type things. So that is what I want on this channel. And I thought since it's the beginning of the year, we're all thinking about, you know, the year 2020 and what that was like. And we're all thinking about how we want 2021 to be. And a lot of people start thinking about goals. Of course, resolutions gets a bad rap, and there's a reason for that because most people statistically do not follow through with their resolutions. But I don't know, just something about a fresh start. It's just fun to think about your goals. I always have goals, month to month, week to week, day to day. I have goals. I'm a very goal-oriented person. I'm a dreamer. I love dreaming up things. Sometimes I can get kind of lost in my dream world, and my husband has to kind of bring me back into the real world. But yeah, I am very driven by goals and dreams, and I think it can be a really positive thing for me. But of course, there can be a negative side to it as well. So anyway, what are we talking about today? I have it all written down on this piece of paper. I'm going to talk about my 2020 reflections, big things that happened in our lives in 2020, in me and my family's lives, and then my goals for 2021, which it's crazy. Like, I feel like we're living in the future. 2020, 2021, like, I don't know. It's crazy. Anyone else feel that way? Probably just me. If I ever look somewhere, it's because I'm looking at the window at people passing by. We have pretty tall bushes, so I don't think they can see me, but still kind of awkward. Anywho, so let's just get into this. Oh, I did want to say really quickly, my goal for this channel, I've really thought a lot about this. I've kind of been like back and forth on what I'm going to post on here. I mostly just want to post whatever I want, but I thought like the umbrella idea for this channel is just to inspire and help other mothers out there, whether that's through meal planning, grocery hauls, real life, day in the life, routines, just tips and tricks of motherhood, homeschooling. I'm getting full force back into homeschooling, which I'll talk about in this video and my goals and stuff. So really just like encouraging and inspiring other mothers. That's something I'm really passionate about, and sharing my real and raw and personal life with you guys. So that's my like overall goal for this channel. So let's start with 2020 reflections. So I put them in two categories: wins and struggles. So not necessarily losses, maybe losses. So like things we did well and things we didn't do so well. So the first, I'm going to start with the wins. So the first thing is we bought our first home. This home. We purchased this home and moved in, I think it was like March or May, something like that. So pretty early on. It was actually, no, I think it was March. Because, because it was around spring break. It was like when, right as, you know, stuff started to go down. So that was when we purchased this house and moved in. And I would say in 2019, we had a lot of struggles with that. But we got past that in 2020, and we were able, through pushing through, my husband and I were able to purchase this home. So that was a huge accomplishment, purchasing our first home. We own this home. I think that, you know, some people believe you should own a home, some people don't, you know, there's pros and cons, whatever. But to me, it's a really big lifetime accomplishment, purchasing a home. And so I have felt really proud of myself and especially my husband with purchasing this home. So that has been, that was a big thing this year. And then another big thing is my cleaning YouTube channel. So not this channel. If you're just subscribed to this one, you may not know. I have a cleaning channel called Madison Cleaning. Yeah, that's what it's called. I'm like, what is it called? But yeah, so I have worked so hard for so long on YouTube, and my cleaning channel finally took off like midway through 2020, maybe more towards like a little bit past midway, maybe in like July or something like that was when it started taking off. But that was huge for our family, and that is something I've been working on for so long. I'm reading this book. I love self-help books. That's like my favorite type of book. I'm reading this book, Atomic Habits, which you guys have probably heard about it. It's a really big book right now. But it makes so much sense, and it talks about how people think that people who have success are like overnight successes, but really it was like a bunch of little things that finally led to that seemingly overnight success. Like it can kind of, like my channel really took off, and it could kind of look like an overnight success. I mean, you know, success is measured differently for everyone, but for me, you know, it became very successful, and you know, I had some videos take off, and you would think that it just kind of happened overnight, but really I have been working on YouTube for years and years and years, and I've been working on the cleaning channel niche for quite some time too. Not sure how long, maybe a year or two, a while, more than a year. And I had taken a break. That was the other thing. I had taken, I had struggles breastfeeding my son Jack, which I will not do with our next baby. If you watch this channel, you know we're trying to conceive our next child, and I definitely will not breastfeed. Like I'll try, you know, I'll do a little bit of breastfeeding, but if we have any issues with weight or whatever, I'm just going straight to formula. I'm not doing that to myself or my family ever again. So anyway, with that, I just kind of started drowning. That was like a loss, which I'll talk about in the losses part of this year. But that was more end of 2019. So 2019 was honestly a tougher year for us. 2020 was a much better year for us. But anyway, I had taken a long time off, like 7 or 8 months off of YouTube. Didn't post at all. And then I came back and I hit it hard, guys. So hard. And I was staying up until like 4 in the morning, and you know, I've kind of tapered off with that, and I'm trying to make it more realistic how much time and effort I put into YouTube, and I'm trying to balance it. I don't want this to become like a YouTube, I could just talk and talk and talk, but I don't want this to become like just about YouTube videos. So anyway, that was a big thing, is that my cleaning channel took off, and I'm actually making an income from it, which is really, you know, changing our lives and helping out our family so much. So that was huge. My husband and I started to find a bond in home renovations. So this was a dream, a goal of mine. You know, I feel like dreams and goals can kind of come together. This was a huge thing for me. I always would look at like Chip and Joanna Gaines from Fixer Upper and just wish that I could have, before I was married, wish I could have a relationship like that. I always thought that would be so cool. Like I'm really into decorating and everything, which takes money and time and stuff, you know, but anyway, and I didn't really see my husband and I having that, because he's not a super big Mr. Fix-It or whatever, but he has stepped up in the biggest way. It doesn't come naturally to him. Like he does a lot of painting on my cleaning channel when we do our makeovers, and people have asked if he's a painter or something, and he's not. That is not his job, but he has stepped up for our family. Oh, it can make me cry, but he has stepped up completely for our family, and he has, you know, worked so hard for our YouTube business and for our family to make our house nice. And we had just both really gotten into it. I feel like we have both, you know, he like stepped up, but then I feel like he has found a joy in making our house nice. And we always liked that, like even at our last house, we have always liked like making our house nice for our family and ourselves, but we've really come together with the projects, and it's been amazing. So that was definitely like a goal, dream come true win for us. Of course, my YouTube channel, dream come true, goal win, and getting our first home. So we got a lot of good things. I know 2020 has been tough, and we definitely went through some tough things, which I'll talk about in our losses, but we honestly had a pretty great year. And I don't want to say that to be bragging or rude, but it's the truth. I'm about the truth, okay? Another thing, so my personal wins, I would say, is my YouTube channel, although my husband has supported me, like I said, so much. But the house and the home projects, that's totally me and my husband. But a personal goal and win would be the YouTube channel. And then also another personal goal that's very personal just to me is I lost a lot of weight. I have struggled with my weight since I was always really thin, but since shortly before I got pregnant with Henry, my almost 4-year-old. Crazily enough, this month he'll turn 4. I started to struggle with binge eating and gained some weight, and then I just blew up pregnant with Henry. Just completely gained tons of weight and had like 60, 70, 80 pounds to lose, tons of weight to lose. I lost a good amount of that. I think I lost basically all the pregnancy weight, but didn't lose like the like 10 or 20 pounds I had gained before I got pregnant. And then I got pregnant again with my son Jack, who is 18 months old. And again, blew up, gained too much weight, struggled with binge eating. And so then I have, throughout this year, worked really hard and have lost like 60, 70 pounds. And I got even lower than I did after Henry, although I'm still not at my goal weight. So I would say that is a huge, huge win for me. And I found myself again. I feel like when I look at myself in the mirror, my body's not perfect, but I see me, if that makes sense. If anyone struggled with gaining a ton of weight, maybe you understand that. Okay, so that was the wins. Then the struggles or losses or whatever you want to call them. I quit homeschooling my oldest. My younger ones are just starting school. Like Henry is just in preschool right now that we're homeschooling. But my oldest is 12, and I homeschooled him for 2 years. But when in the end of 2019, when Jack was born and I struggled with the breastfeeding, I let go of YouTube. I let go of homeschooling. Like at the beginning of 2020, I put Carter back into public school. Then of course, the craziness hits and they're doing virtual learning, which was horrible, total struggle. And, we weren't able to leave the house, all of that, which hit him the hardest, I would say. Of the struggles of this year, I feel like that hit him, my son, the hardest, because he wasn't able to go to youth group. His sports got canceled. All of the things that he did, which really should have shown me that homeschooling is amazing and great. I let virtual learning get into my head and equaling that to homeschooling in some ways, but it is not at all, because with homeschooling, we did so many things where we did the Super Fridays thing. Like we did so many things where he was interacting with other kids. But that just kind of like, since he was so isolated from kids his age and stuff, I needed him back in school, and I was just dying for him to get back in school after the virtual stuff. So I really just kind of like went anti-homeschooling in my mind for a while, and it was sad. I didn't really share it with a ton of people. I shared it with one of my close friends, but I didn't really talk to my husband about it because I know he was homeschooled, and I know he really wants me to homeschool our kids, and I love that. I love that he wants that. I love that so much. But I felt like I couldn't share my struggles with homeschooling. I don't know. I felt guilt, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, I would say that's an extreme loss. And I'm going to talk about my goals for 2021 soon. So I'll talk more about that. And then also my son became a preteen, and we had some struggles with that. Although I feel like we're growing and learning and creating our new relationship as he's becoming, soon a teenager this year and all of that. So those are some tough things. Another tough thing was my miscarriage. It's something you kind of just put in the back of your mind and you try not to think about, honestly. It was like when it happened, the day it happened was the worst day, and it was during all of this craziness in the world. So I went there alone, which is a regret of mine because I did see other people have someone with them. So I really should have had my husband have someone, watch the kids, which I know my sister would have. She was so sweet, and she came and watched the kids when it was first happening. So anyway, that was kind of a regret of mine. I was in the ER all alone for hours, and I have a whole video about my miscarriage, but that was obviously a loss of 2020. And then, so a win was I lost a ton of weight, but then a struggle or loss is that I struggled with my food relationship. I'm still struggling with that. I still struggle with binge eating. I'll do really, really well. And then I think a lot of it is tied to sugar. If I start eating sugar again, then I dive back down into my binge eating problems. So that was a loss for me. And then negative thinking. That is something that's always been a loss for me. And it was definitely, I don't think I did great this year on improving that struggle I have with my anxiety and my negative thinking. Okay, so that's the wins and losses, my reflections of 2020. Now my goals for 2021. So first one, commit to homeschooling. Get organized, get routines, set up a schoolroom, all of that. I want to do that in 2021. I want to write out, which I'm going to make a video about it. I'll make a video about all of this, but I'm going to start putting some homeschooling videos out again. If you're not into homeschooling, don't worry. I will have plenty of other videos as well, but that is something I'm going to start posting about on this channel because I'm passionate about it and I'm passionate about helping other moms with homeschooling. I am going to make a list of why I am homeschooling, and I'm going to laminate it because one, it's so much fun to laminate things. It's so satisfying. Anyone else feel that way? But two, I want to look back on it for years. And when I hit hard seasons, I should have just thought about it. You have a newborn right now, Madison. Of course things are hard. That doesn't mean you quit. But I am so bad about that sometimes. Certain things, when things get tough, I think I just need to throw it out and start fresh. And it's no, the grass is not always greener. And homeschooling is what I'm passionate about, what I believe in for our family, what my husband believes in for our family. So I want to commit fully to that this year. That's a big goal of mine. And I'm going to look back on this and do another video like this next year. So hopefully I stick to that, Madison. I want to do some big home projects with my husband, continue to do that. We're hopefully going to do the living room with the removing the wall and all of that fun stuff very soon. He's already started painting the stairs, which I showed a little bit on sneak peek on my Instagram, so be sure to follow me there. So excited for that video to come out and just continue to do home projects and making this house a home for us. Learn what to eat to be healthy and balanced. So like I said, one of my struggles in 2020 was with my food relationship. So I want to learn what foods I should be eating that I enjoy and just live a more balanced life with that. Work out 5 times per week, just kind of a generic thing. And that could be, I joined the YMCA recently and I want to play pickleball with my oldest. So that could be playing pickleball, that could be an actual workout, a cycling class, yoga at home, a HIIT workout at home, just anything, just work out 5 times per week. Have a baby. You guys know we are trying to conceive, so I hope that we have a healthy baby in 2021. Do a monthly date night with my husband. I have a lot of goals for our relationship and how I can improve on it and not focusing so much on what he can improve. So monthly date night, positive thinking, especially towards my husband. So I want to work on, I have this real issue with negativity and negative thinking, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I want to have positive thinking, but especially towards my husband and our relationship and our family and all that. Continue to have a steady income from YouTube and continue to grow my YouTube, but also finding a balance between work and motherhood, still homeschooling and doing all of that. Read more. This is a big one for me. It may seem so cliche or generic or whatever, but I love to read and barely ever do it. I start all these books and I rarely finish them. And so I want to read more myself. I want my husband and I to read more. And that can be a spiritual thing too. I want us to read. We used to read the Bible together, do this 15 minutes a day thing that was through our church. I want us to get back to doing that and just reading more together. I want to read to my oldest. I have done that here and there in the past, especially when we were homeschooling, and it was such a connection for the two of us, something we both enjoyed. We read some books that really caused some amazing conversations between us. I personally love books that are for 12-year-olds, certain books, Because of Winn-Dixie, which that could be even younger, but there's some tough topics in there, so maybe middle school age, I don't know. A Wrinkle in Time. There are just a bunch of books like that that are just classics that I personally love. The Giver, I started reading that to him. I want to finish that. Those other 2 books we've already read. So yeah, and then of course, sorry guys if I'm out of breath, the battery died on my camera. But of course, read to my little ones. I already do pretty well at that, but I want to do better. Have like a really good nighttime routine. We have a pretty decent nighttime routine, but I want to add reading back into it, like 15 minutes. My problem is I'll just start reading and I don't want to stop, and it takes so long, and then I think it creates this thing in my mind of like, oh, it's always going to take super long. I'm like, I'm going to tell myself, no, read one book to the little ones and read for 15 minutes or one chapter to my oldest. I have to do it separately because otherwise it's not really a bonding thing with my oldest. My middle child makes it about him usually, so, because he's that age. But anyway, okay, and then last two things. One is to get ready more often, put myself together more often. That is a struggle for me, especially with young children, trying to balance work and homeschooling and all of that. You want to come in here for the last little bit? Close the door. Last time he came in and I told him to like go do his drawing, someone told me that I was like putting YouTube over my child. Like, it was so ridiculous. It's like, you clearly don't have kids because you are allowed to have your own thing, you know, your own hobbies and stuff. But anyway, so I think that that will just be good to do. So I want to do that. And then the last thing that I want to do is family trips. This is a big thing for me. We have just never really had the money for it. And then of course we have young children, which makes it more difficult. But I want to really make it a priority this year and not do expensive trips. I want us to start small and slow. Like, we live near Galveston, and there's a lot of fun things. It's a beach. It's not the prettiest beach, but it's a beach. It's there. We can drive to it. So I want us to go to Galveston a few times this year. I want us to go somewhere. We live in Texas. Somewhere like maybe Austin or something, like the hill country, go hiking. I really enjoy hiking and being close to nature, so that would be nice. Although I am hopefully going to be pregnant, so you're so cute. So in that case, you know, may not be able to hike, but we could definitely still go to the beach. So just do like little family trip bonding things. One of my big goals and big dreams, which I don't know if will happen this year, is going to like a lake house. Like, my biggest goal and dream is to own a lake house. If we're talking about goals here, which it's not going to happen this year, but I want to own a lake house with land and a boat, and let the boys run around on the land and fix up the lake house really cute, make it like lake house style decorations, and just so many like fun memories. Like, as I was a kid, we would go to my grandparents' lake condo, and it was a blast. I'm cutting those long branches a lot. You were? Yep, cutting them off. You do some good work, buddy. You do some good work. But anyway, so yeah, that's a big time goal, but that's hopefully will happen someday. But I would love to just start by going to like an Airbnb type lake house or something like that. So maybe we could do that this year. And I don't know, I have a whole bunch of goals and dreams for my life, but I'm trying to talk about 2020. Maybe I should do like a video about my lifetime goals. Let me know if anyone's interested in that. Because I do have like, you know, big goals that wouldn't just happen just this year. But okay, I think that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Oh no, that's just the say it's recording. I just changed the battery. But anyway, so please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell to be notified when I post new videos. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, and let me know your goals. I should have said that at the beginning. Let me know your reflections, your goals in the comments below. I will definitely respond to you guys. And yeah, I want to hear like back from you guys. I don't want this to just be a one-way conversation. Okay, bye. Bye.